My name is Sarah Bennett. I worked at the same tech company for over 15 years. 15 years of loyalty, late nights, missed holidays, and personal sacrifices. And still, one Monday morning, my entire career was tossed out like last week's trash. No thanks, no goodbye party, just a folder, a forced smile, and a weak excuse about corporate restructuring. But what they didn't know was this. I saw it coming, months ahead. And while they thought they were playing me, I was 10 moves ahead, setting up the game they never even knew they were a part of. Let me take you back. It all started about 10 months before that final meeting. I had just wrapped up a high-stress systems migration for one of our biggest clients. 12 weeks of 14-hour days, no weekends off, barely enough sleep to function. And when it went live without a single error, I didn't expect a parade, but I expected something. A thank you email, at least. What I got instead was silence. Then, 3 days later, I was removed from the follow-up call schedule with the client. My direct report, Evan, a guy with 3 years of experience and a talent for buzzwords, was taking the lead now. That was the first crack. Then came the skipped meetings. The weekly executive sync I used to co-host with our CTO, I stopped getting invites. When I asked our admin team, they said it had been restructured to include only directors and above, which I was. But suddenly, that didn't seem to matter. And then one late Thursday night, I overheard something I wasn't meant to hear. I had stayed behind to finalize some analytics on a security patch. Around 9:30 p.m., I was packing up when I heard voices coming from the conference room across the hall. I recognized them immediately. Andrew, our VP of Technology, and Harper from HR. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but when you hear your name, you stop walking. Andrew said, "We need to start sunsetting the legacy leadership. Sarah will be the first." Harper replied, "She's been here a long time. Won't this spark blowback?" Andrew scoffed. "She's too loyal to make waves. She won't see it coming." I stood there in the hallway, frozen. My hands clenched so tight, my nails dug into my palm. Every fiber of me wanted to slam the door open, demand answers, scream. But I didn't. Because right then and there, I made a choice. If they thought I wouldn't see it coming, they were about to experience what 15 years of experience and quiet observation could do. The next morning, I showed up early, earlier than usual. Coffee in hand, a smile on my face. I walked into the office like nothing was wrong. But something had changed, not in them, in me. I started documenting everything. Every communication, every meeting I was left out of, every change in reporting structure, every internal project proposal that mysteriously vanished from my inbox. And more importantly, I began preparing my exit, but not the kind they were expecting. You see, I wasn't just an employee. I was the architect behind our internal infrastructure. I had personally designed the framework for our customer delivery systems and had been the lead on client retention and automation models. My fingerprints were on everything, and they were trying to erase me. So I started building something else, quietly, carefully. I pulled long nights, not for them, but for me. I began creating a modular, streamlined version of the same infrastructure I'd built for their systems, but cleaner, faster, and easier to manage. I didn't copy anything. I didn't need to. I knew what worked and what didn't. And then I registered a business name, Echelon Core Technologies. It felt like breathing after being underwater for too long. I didn't even tell my best friend Amelia, who worked in legal. Not yet. I had to play this carefully. Over the next 4 months, I reached out to old colleagues, former clients, and one by one began building something real. Not a dream, a competitor. And the best part? I had leverage. One of our biggest clients, Horizon Systems, had been unhappy for months. I knew that because I was the only one who had taken their complaints seriously. The execs had brushed it off, calling them high maintenance. But I'd spent time on the ground with their teams. I knew what they needed, and they remembered that. So I called their director of IT, off the record. I can't say much yet, but I might be building something better, something built around you, not in spite of you. She paused and said, "When you're ready, we're listening." That was the moment I realized I wasn't stuck. I was just waiting. Back at the office, things got colder. Andrew stopped making eye contact with me. My responsibilities were being quietly stripped away, one by one. I was assigned to internal training support, a fake role that meant babysitting interns and updated outdated manuals. Harper, the HR woman who smiled with her eyes but lied with her teeth, asked if I was still feeling challenged. I smiled sweetly. Oh yes, very. They thought they were beating me, but I was turning every slight, every insult into fuel. In my evenings, I brought on a graphic designer and a legal advisor for my new company. I wrote pitch decks, developed prototype models, filed trademarks, and created a cloud-based demo of the product I'd always wanted to build. Then came the final insult. 2 weeks before they let me go, they moved my desk. No warning, just an email from facilities saying my workspace was being reassigned due to renovations. I was placed near the mailroom, not even a real office, just a standing desk and a chair that wobbled. It didn't break me. It reminded me I was almost done. And then, on a rainy Tuesday morning, it happened. 10:02 a.m. Harper asked me to swing by HR for a quick chat. She couldn't even look me in the eye when I walked in. Andrew was already there. His tie was slightly crooked. That detail stuck with me for some reason. He opened a folder, cleared his throat, and said, "Sarah, after careful consideration and a comprehensive review of our department structure, we've decided to eliminate your role effective immediately. No thank you for your service, no handshake, just cold words on a printed letter." I looked at both of them, smiled, then opened my own folder. Inside was a prepared legal statement. It outlined the projects I had initiated before employment that overlapped with the company's current software strategy. It detailed IP boundaries, prior work history, and the formal notice that I was the founder of Echelon Core Technologies, which was now operational. Andrew blinked. "What is this?" I looked him straight in the eye. "This is me stepping off your ship before it sinks." Harper looked nervous. "You're launching a startup?" "I already did, months ago." I stood. "You wanted me out, and you got your wish. But you didn't bury me. You planted me." And with that, I walked out. Not in shame, not in fear, but in complete control. They thought they broke me. They had no idea. They just released me. And that was only the beginning.